want her. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace, make peace, make peace, peace. Alright, isn't it time, brother, stop dying? Isn't it time, mother, stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we gotta learn to live together. Peace, in peace, in peace. Everyone loves, everyone cries. Round the world we're all, why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace, make peace, make peace, peace. Alright, isn't it time, brother, stop dying? Isn't it time, mother, stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we gotta learn to live together. Peace, in peace, make peace. Alright, make peace. Peace together. Peace. And life goes on. My computer is surging a lot, so that's the reason why I came on late, guys. For some reason, I've been trying to get it working correctly, and it surges. Like, basically, it's surging and knocks out everything every time I do a show. These last 3-4 weeks, my computer, and someone says, "Oh, no, nothing wrong with your computer. It's fine." So it just acts up, and I don't know why. It just like starts winding up crazy, and then says, "Oh, you can't do this," and I go like, "Bull crap." So, anyways, I'm here. Yeah, we're late. A lot of things have been happening, guys, I'm sure, And we're on the 888. Okay, so welcome. Thank you guys for being part of this program. And let's see, I'm going to adjust this so you guys can see me. There we go. I got it now. Got this camera on me as well as the mic, so you guys can see the mic here as well, because everybody's actually in. I mean, actually, thank you guys for being part of the YouTube as well as on Facebook. Normally, we're very well prepared. I'm going to have to take my computer into a friend of mine because the other guys that said my computer, there's nothing wrong with it, which I know there is not. There's something going on here. So anyways, I'm here, guys. I comment late, but if you ever see anything about blacking out, anything that regarding my screens are blacking out, it's not me. Okay, so we've had troubles with YouTube before. If they don't like what I talk about, they actually will drop they'll drop the show completely. They actually knock right out. And then I get a message from them. Oh, you broke the rules. You've been striked again. Nothing new. Nothing new. No, I'm not kidding you. Anyways, also like to welcome all the new people that are coming into the chat room. Those actually I've spoken to earlier this evening from Telegram. Thank you for joining me. I'd be a new friend on Facebook as well as connections with Telegram and also Rumble. I do my recorded shows. I transfer them to Rumble, and eventually down the road I'll be going live from Rumble later on, but I haven't done it yet because I've got to download the other program to combine them all together. But again, certain things that we can say, certain things we can't say, we already know that. YouTube, Facebook doesn't bother me much, except last week. Facebook tried to shut me off because I was talking about certain things that they don't like to see. And I guess I'm a disturber, truther. Those algorithms will get you. So what else is new, right? Let's see now. Let's get started. I'm sure some of you guys actually have noticed that everyone's talking about it. It's going. We're talking about the Lionsgate portal. It's ongoing, guys. Yeah. I will talk about that too in the chat room, guys. Thank you guys for being part of it. And anyways, the Lionsgate portal, this is kind of funny. I will mention this too. I live in Vancouver, and we have what's called a Lionsgate bridge. And when it was built, if you ever seen any photographs of the original Lionsgate bridge, it looks like a portal. Yeah, I'm not kidding you guys. It's in Vancouver, and you cross the Lionsgate bridge. The original one that they built, it looked like a portal because it was circular at the top, and it looked like you can see two statues of lions on each side lying down on the I guess we'll say platform, and they call it Lionsgate Bridge. Go figure why they call it Lionsgate, right? Portal. So most likely we do have a portal in Vancouver which relates to the Lionsgate Bridge. Who would actually want to name it Lionsgate? Gee, I wonder. Okay, that would be Freemason, maybe. Think about it, because a lot of times, folks, that the Freemasons were actually very responsible to build a lot of the cities, and they're responsible for starting them all up and create what you call the corporation, right? Anyways, basically what I'm going to talk about, again, like I said, Lionsgate portal, it affects each zodiac sign differently. Okay, now be it creativity, interpersonal, relationships, career, or spiritual development, the Lionsgate portal, which actually started as of this August the 8th, which is today, and is a significant astrological phenomenon. Now, as the sun's transit into what you call Leo, okay, it resonates with the star Sirius, and I'm sure you guys know who Sirius is, and I'm serious, creating a powerful energy pathway. And this period intensifies spiritual experience. Now, it activates one's intuitive senses, okay, and provides a potential for personal transformation. Now, the Lionsgate portal affects each zodiac sign differently, and be it creativity, interpersonal relationships, career, or spiritual development, and knowing how the celestial occurrences will impact your zodiac sign and can help you steer towards your potential and desired intention. Okay. So basically, you have a desired intent. Everyone who's born different months are affected by the Lionsgate portal. Why? Number one, you'll now start noticing that there's a beginning of the two suns that will appear, or the two moons that will appear, because one will come in and one will leave. That's the transition. We're going through also the 3D to 5D. Okay, we're still transitioning. People don't realize it. We're still going through it, and it will. And now, number one, Lionsgate. Now, this is the only month that we have, or the day we have, which is called the 8th day, the 8th month, and 2024 adds up to an 8, which add those three together, and it adds to an 8. So it actually affects certain different individuals, everyone differently, but the 8, if you turn on its side, is an infinite number, infinity, right? So this is a very strong, powerful time in our lives. We will go through a lot of, I'm sure last night, it affected my wife more than me, but she couldn't sleep. She had a heck of a time trying to sleep. She kept waking up or tried to sleep, and she felt like she never slept at all. When she finally fell asleep, or actually said, finally slept, and she couldn't close her eyes until, listen to this, until 8 a.m. And she finally fell asleep and woke her, and she woke up at 1 in the afternoon. Now, this is not like her. She would never sleep that long. She's always up early. But for some reason, her energy shifted. And why is it shifting? Because we're all going through the shift. It is transitioning. That doesn't mean we're all going to wake up late. What it is, we have, I'll give you an example, guys. You got two Earths here, okay? One Earth 2. Now, I'm sure you guys seen Marvel movies or DC movies, and they always talk about the two Earths, or the two, okay, interplanetary systems. We are in number 1, and we're transitioning into number 2, which goes this way like a nucleus, and it transforms. All of this goes with us, but we're leaving behind all the crap, all what's left over. So, for example, we're going through very similar to the Mandela effect. Anything that happened on the Earth 1 never happened on Earth 2. Okay? For example, there are people out there that said, oh, so-and-so, I remember telling you or so-and-so that I said this and I said that. And that person will say, no, you never told me. Or yourself, you would have a memory. Oh, I'll give you an example, guy. Let's look at Mr. T. Okay, Mr. T. Mr. T, years ago in the TV series, The A-Team, used to say, I pity the fool. I pity the fool. Okay, that was used in the movie, in the TV series. I pity the fool. Now, I'm sure some of you guys may remember The A-Team, okay, and how that Mr. T said it. Well, in this life, which transitioned over, okay, now we got the Lionsgate and the Mandela effect, Mr. T said he never said that. He never did say, I pity the fool. Now, how come we remember? It's because we were there. We were witnesses. We seen it. We participated in it. But there are people out there that now they're shifted, and they said, you said this, and I said, no, I didn't. So how come maybe certain things I was supposed to have said myself in the past? And they'll say, yeah, you told me this. And I said, no, I didn't. So we all are going through that shift as well. Everyone is like going through the Mandela effect. Not affect, but effect. So basically, we're shifting. We've shifted already. Now, again, like I said before, the Lionsgate portal is a portal. We are shifting into the new generation. Okay, now, this is what they call the age of Aquarius. Many people that are born Aquarian, especially my daughter, okay, she's an Aquarian. She's noticed a change in her life, completely changed in her life. And now the Aquarians are in the late month of, or going in the month of December, January. That's important, right? So if anybody who's an Aquarian, they always say this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Now, last week I talked about this, about the age of Aquarius. I even tried to play the song. Facebook tried to shut it off. YouTube shut me off. They actually shut me down like right now. They're not supposed to do that because I already know the CRTC laws because I'm a radio broadcaster. But for some reason, they didn't want me to talk. Now, basically, it wasn't because of the song. They wanted to shut me off because I talked about the Mandela effect and certain things I added into. But also the algorithms heard what I was saying. That YouTube now has actually has now in their computerized system, they have AI. These are robots. Robots now are in control of the algorithms. If they don't like to, if they get notified of certain words you say, they cut you off. Boom, you're done. No matter if you think it's innocent, you say those words, you're done. They will eliminate you out completely. Whether give you a strike or you're gone. They won't let you back in. You lose everything. Okay? Facebook, a little bit here. Facebook is going through the same thing. Facebook also is transitioning, and they're playing the same game. They're saying, well, you can't play this, you can't play that. As far as music is concerned, bullcrap. It is a social network. They have no say in the matter. Even YouTube doesn't even have any say. YouTube does not own the music. No one has the right to tell us what we can or cannot play. We can play, you're given the first 30 seconds of a song for free without having to pay any fees of the CRTC songs. And I played 30 seconds of it. But one time, unless you are wanting to acknowledge and write the name of the band or the singers or whoever it is that is playing on your show, and you're acknowledging them and you write it down in your recorded program and acknowledging them, that means they get the bonus, they get the credits, they get the monies. But I wrote it down, but to them it wasn't enough. They don't want you to write it down unless you pay also YouTube money. And I'm not paying YouTube money. Why? What for? YouTube has no say in the matter. Okay. Same with Facebook. Facebook saying, well, you can't play this song, and so now the song has to be muted. No, you're not muting my song. So what I had to do, even though they wouldn't let me share it, I had to download it. And I had a heck of a time. They wouldn't even let me download it. I was going to really get pissed. So I took the copy link and I put it into my cell phone. And I copy linked it through my cell phone into the FB network. I downloaded it there, and it downloaded, went into my phone. Then I transferred it back up through my computer, and then shared the recording. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to prevent you from sharing. And this is exactly what our federal government is doing right now. They're trying to use that Bill 36, preventing you from actually sharing anything that's of truth or of facts. Like basically you're sharing something. So now I'm not going to go too political right now. I want to get more into the spiritual sense of it. Now, like I said before, earlier tonight, I wanted to talk about this because it's very, very vitally important. Every one of you, I will say this: how many of you actually have experienced your dreams more vivid now? I would say the last couple of weeks or more, you've had such vivid dreams, not just one, not just two, many dreams through the night. And most vivid dreams now are happening 6 to 8 times per night. And people are remembering the dreams now. Why are they so vivid? Why all of a sudden they're starting to come? It's because you're supposed to see them. You're supposed to remember them, because Spirit's making sure that you understand that you're not alone in this world, and also to help you move forward into the next generation, into the next elemental energy. Okay, so you're going higher above now. You're not sitting in the 3rd dimensional energy. You're actually going into the 5th dimensional. So you're raising your energy higher. Those who don't practice this, like some people say, well, I'm not a spiritual person. I don't have all this stuff. I don't do what psychics do. That has nothing to do with it. Whether you work a 9-to-5 job or not, the fact is, it's still going to affect you. And some people say, I swore I had 8 hours sleep. I went to bed early and I'm ready to go to work. But yeah, when I woke up that morning, I felt really tired because the energy transitioned. And if you are not welcoming the transition of the energy, it knocks the living heck out of you and it feels like you're tired still. So I tell people this: rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. And just say to Spirit out loud, or God, okay, I welcome the higher energy of the Lion's Gate portal. I welcome it. So then keep on working with me. I'm looking forward to seeing this and looking forward to experiencing it, because we're all participating in it. We're not just by ourselves alone, and there's no religion connected to it. It's all based on you. Okay, me and you. Every one of us is participating. Okay, so we may not realize, but we're going through what you call a subconscious, and like the word I am, for example, let's use the word I am. Some people will believe if you use the word I am and say, well, I'm tired, oh, I'm sick. Well, if you say those words, you're making yourself tired. You're creating an intention of making yourself feel that way. You're going down. Okay. But if you try not to use those words I am, now it's more like I am positive. Make it the word positive. I am positive. I am higher than that. I am going to make this work. I'm successful. I am successful. I have money coming in my bank account. I have money coming in my bank account every day. See, I am. Because you want to make it positive, not of the negative. When you say, oh, I'm sick, or I'm tired, or I'm this, then you are you're co-creating it yourself, and because you're making your intention, because the words are very, very important to all of us. When you think badly of someone, and try not to if you can, try not to think badly of other people. Sure, people make their mistakes. And yes, you do have the people out there that act evil. But if you mirror that name, here's the word, folks. The word evil, but you mirror that name means live or live, right? We are live in the studio here. We are not evil. We are alive. We're mirroring it. So I'm not in that sense of it. I'm in the live. I'm actually there. I'm positive. I stand with us 100,000%. I'm in this big time. I'm looking forward to all this happening. I'm sure for every one of you listeners and viewers out there, it's important. Now, so basically, like I said, try not to use the word I am as a negative, but use I am as a positive. So if you want, like I am, like, oh, I am seeing money in my bank account coming in today. Lots of money. I am seeing $1,000 come in bank account today. See what I mean? You are co-creating what you want. Now, God's not stopping you from being financially stable or financially gained. God has never stopped you. Whoever put this in the Bible and said, well, if you call for money abundance, then, or if you ask for money, then you're being, you're going the wrong direction. That's horse crap. God's always wanted you to be successful, because that's why he brought you here. You came here for one reason, is to to successfully fulfill your dreams and the things that you've always wanted to do. Okay, this is all the things we've always wanted to do. We've always wanted to be important, feel needed, and feel wanted, or feel what we want to help others in exchange. This is what I do this every Thursday night. I mean, I missed one in my life, but this is rare, because normally I dedicatingly love doing the show. I love doing this to help you guys out there. Why? Because there's many of us that feel we need to be inspired, but we also need to inspire each other, because each of you in this room here tonight also has a skill. Every one of you have a skill, and we all have a skill of doing things and want to do things and help others. Okay, whether you're in another country, whether you're close by me, either way, we're here to help each other out. We always have something that's important in our lives. So you follow the 888. Okay, now as of now, we're going into the 8. Like I said before at the beginning of the show, we are in the infinite number. That's an infinite number. The 8 is infinite. If you take your pencil and you put on a piece of paper and you keep on going like this, okay, and you keep on doing this all the time on that piece of paper, the energy will continue. It never stops. Okay, there's no corners in this infinite number, and it always keeps on going. And I don't feel tired, because you're co-creating the energy of the infinite number. The infinity has always, and they've always said to infinity, why they say that in the child's cartoon, to infinity and beyond. Okay, what does that tell you? That means it's infinite. We are infinite, and we're always continuous. We never quit. Okay, so basically, what this is the reason why I tell people that we have a purpose here. Every one of us has a purpose here. We're all part of a timeline, okay? And what this also teaches us is we're learning how to. We're basically going through like a transition of altering the changes. Like basically, there's a lot of old stuff we left that we've actually been dealing with, and some people have actually dealt with hardship, emotional, mental, spiritual, and they've always held it on, the guilt's on their shoulders. They've always felt that there's nothing there for them that's left in this world, or sometimes they feel like I regret something. I regret not doing certain things in my life that I should have done. Those are things that we've carried with us, which is our own personal burdens. Okay. When you hang on to the regrets, you make it harder on yourself to grow. And I've watched many, mostly women at the time, for example, when they reached our age in their 60s and 70s, and they'll sit quietly by themselves and they'll say to themselves or out loud, and they'll say, I regret that I didn't do this. I regret I didn't do that. I regret I should have confronted my mother about this, or I should have confronted my family about this. And I didn't do it because I was a coward. Or they'll say, I didn't do it because I was afraid that they would say something bad about me, or I was afraid that I couldn't do this. When you are saying these words, you're telling yourself that you regret. But don't regret, okay? You're letting go. It's not your responsibility. I mean, you chose this. You have a decision to make. It's your own conscious decision. Everyone has a conscious decision. There's things that I regret in life that I should have done, and I feel real bad about it, but I can't hang on to it. I can't. Because if I hang on to it, it makes it me feel like I should be the worst person in the world. I'm the bad guy. And I know I'm not a bad guy. But whatever I didn't accomplish or couldn't do, because certain things got into my way and stopped me from fulfilling what I always wanted to do. And I'll give you guys an example. I would love to have my son in my life. I really do. I always wanted my son in my life. But because of the relationship I had previously before, didn't work. And I'm not going to say what happened, but in the end, I was kept from seeing him. So many years later, there was a lady who I met at an event, and she came up to me. She goes, "You have a son." I said, "Yeah, but he's not in my life." And she goes, "Well, he's looking for you now," she says. "Okay." Yeah, she says, "He's looking for you now." I said, "Well, okay, fine." She goes, "No, you have to find him." I said, "I can't. They won't let me. So it's against the law. I can't find my son. I've never harmed him, nor his mother. But for some reason, there is a law in certain provinces that's, once you're gone, once they take them away from you, you can't see them anymore. And there's a law. Basically, they changed it where you can't see them. And if you make an attempt to find them, then you go to jail. And I'm not going to go to jail for that." So I waited, and I thought, okay. She says, "The only way you're going to do it," she said, "I'll give you a hand." So I went online, and I put my name on the website, looking like on the adoption site, saying I'm looking for my son, named his name, and waiting for see what happens. Now, at the time, he should have been 16. The time he found me, he was in his mid-20s. But when he did show up, I didn't expect it. But for some reason, he didn't call me. His best friend, girlfriend, called me and said to me, he's worried about not meeting you. He's wanting to meet you. But first of all, she says, "Are you Derek?" And I said, "Yeah." Your son his name is, "Yeah." "Okay. Well, he's sitting right next to me right now, and he's nervous." And I said, "Well, first of all," I told her, I said, "You tell him I've always loved him, and I've regretted what I did. And I didn't leave him, but I was forced to leave him. And so, but there's more to the story. And I regretted it. Sure, I regret what I left behind, who I left behind. But the thing is that he got a chance to come and see me. So he came up to see me and spent 3 months with me at my home. And I got to know him a little bit. I couldn't get into his head completely, but I learned some things about him. And it was wonderful to have my son in my life for those 3 months. Then he was going to go back home, another province. Never heard from him since. Now, do I regret it for what happened from there on? I can't hang on to it. Sure, I regret it. But you can't hang on to the guilt forever. They moved on, and I had to move on. Now, do I regret not seeing my granddaughters from my son? Yes, I would love to have them in my life. I did before, a little bit. But again, we all learn by what we lose in life. But why do I have to lose certain people in my life to get where I am today? And the learning lesson is this. It's not just about me. It's about everyone. If we all work together as a family, whether you're in their lives or not, if you make an effort, it could work. But certain people are afraid, thinking that I would take them away from their family, and I would never do that. So there's always something there that we always regret that we've always done. Now, Catherine says there's an agency out there that you can apply to find them. The person that will state if they want to contact or not. Yes, my brother was found and he agreed at first, and most will say health questions, but it went good, and he lives in Chilliwack. Yeah, good. You see, we made an effort. Now, will I see my son again in the future? I don't know. Will I see my granddaughters? And now they're all grown up, or almost grown up. Don't know. I saw pictures of them. They were sent to me. But I was very, very pleased and very great. Proud. My one granddaughter graduated. But I wasn't there, but I got to see the video. It made me feel good. For once in my family, that someone graduated. And that was nice. Now, I always told for years that, it's not necessary to graduate, because if you already have the intelligence and you're probably a lot smarter than most grade 12s. And my education was living education, just having a full life. Like I worked out there. You're meeting people, whatever job you took on, that's your education. And could I get my grade 12? I never finished my grade 12. And I could have, but my mom took me out of school. I wasn't a bad kid. She wanted me to stay on the farm. And she says, your education is here on the farm, not in that school. She says, you're just wasting your time. And I went, no, I really wanted to finish it. But to her, the farm was important first, then the school. Did I regret that? I could have. But then I did go to the school reunion 30 years later. I regretted that, because it was never, the people that were there never really couldn't care less if I was there or not. And they already told that to me by themselves, like, why are you here? Yeah, why am I there? Maybe because I had to finish what I didn't, and I wanted to see them. Not to be friendly, to be friends, but just to go there to see what happened to these people after I've already grown up. And I realized after even though, these people criticize me for what's that I, they criticized me regarding who I am or what it was. But I felt proud of who I am because I realized after that I was not a selfish person and I wasn't them. I wasn't boasting of what I've got. I was proud of what I've earned. We always have, my father would say, you got to work hard to get somewhere. But he also learned one thing too, is like, he says like, you don't want to regret what you can't fulfill. And my parents are that way. Like my parents they could not regret. They had to keep on going, but they made sure us kids were happy. And that was a difference. Like there's the kids today, I'm hoping they're a lot better than when I was brought up. I'll hope it gets better because I've been watching so many things out there today. A lot of children, they're I'm talking about the grandkids. I'm talking about the I guess they call the Gen X. I'm not sure what they call that. But these kids, some of the kids out there just have no respect for elders or people like that out there. Thanks, I hear you. I got heck for it. So it's just a wake-up call. And that's basically what this whole Lionsgate portal is about, is not having to feel regret. And we had to start seeing what's ahead of us. So now, like I said before, it's going to affect our zodiac month because each of us has a different zodiac. So, for example, also the 88 number is also the angelic number, and that's all based on finances. Did you guys know that? Yeah, your financial gains are going to be greatly increase within this week. Okay, things are going to happen. Your financial gains, it's going to be huge. Things are going to change. Things are not going down, they're going up for all of us. So you'll start noticing a complete shift in your work that you may not realize. And a lot of people right now are talking about having to leave their job, working for someone else, and working for themselves. I would say this past 2 or 3 weeks, I've had so many clients come and see me because I do my readings. Clients come and see me, and every one of them have already said they want to quit their job, but they don't know what they want. And the first thing I tell them, why aren't you working for yourself? Why aren't you working for yourself? That person or persons should have been doing this years ago. And the first thing they said was, I was afraid I would not make it. Or their partner would say to them, it's safer to work for someone than actually work for yourself. Okay, whose fear is that? Is that your partner's fear or your fear? It's your partner's fear because your partner is not used to working for themselves. They are used to working for someone else who they basically sometimes get verbally abused continuously for years. And they'll say when they come home after work, I don't know why I'm having a hard time again handling life. My boss this, my boss that, he, she. It's always negative. Like I tell people, stick to your job and do something for yourself. And we're going to have to go that direction because we are transitioning now. Have you guys noticed the AI has changed where now there's more robotics? There's a lot of companies, Amazon, Walmart, superstores, Costco's, they're all going digital now, guys. They're going to the point where there's going to be lesser and lesser employees. They've got these little theaters on each aisle, and you just ask the little theater, the person that's in it, the screen, the AI robot, saying, what are you looking for? What do you need? Where do you need to know? Like, where is it? Which aisle? Whatever. That little robot tells you. There's nobody in the store except the robots now. Pretty well, it's getting to the point where you have to be self-sufficient for yourself. You have to start to do things to make an income, because there will be times. I feel so bad for some of these major corporate stores, especially shopping stores. I've watched about a good half dozen girls that in one store got let go of their job as cashiers, and now they're bringing in more self-checkouts, and There's even longer self-checkouts. I mean, there's longer lineups of checkouts, self-checkouts, longer lines. My wife and I went shopping late last night, thinking you just go in there and go shopping, right? Go get what you're going to get. But I prefer not to do self-checkout. I prefer to go to a cashier. There was lesser cashiers there helping people with large bags of carts of groceries, and yet there's people with carts of groceries in the self-checkouts, but the lineup was even longer. Why would you want to be in the lineup of self-checkout when you already know you can have an employee do the job for you and it's done really quick, but yet you think this is a lot quicker? It's not. There's not. Self-checkouts are not happening, guys. It doesn't work. There's so many people lost their jobs. So Catherine says, so many changes ahead. People will be able to follow their passions in many humanitarian projects, over 6,000 new technologies. There is. I mean, I'm not saying there is nothing left. You just got to find where you fit. And I'm sure many of you guys have dreams. You've always wanted to do something for yourself, to work for yourself. And why are you so afraid of losing your job? Why are you so afraid of working for yourself? Sure, it takes maybe about a few months to get started, but I'm telling you guys, it's worth the time to work for yourself. I've been working for myself since independently as a company since 1984. I never worked for anybody else but myself. Okay, now I was a painting contractor for a bit because my dad was a painting contractor at one time. I learned a lot from my father for his houses, but he used to do automotive. He went from automotive to houses. Go figure that one out. When I left the farm, and but through the years, I got from there to be a crafter because I went to some of these craft shows and I thought, man, I can sure make some really cool things that would work well for me. And I know people will always buy these pieces. And so I start getting into more and more stone, feather, leather, all kinds of properties to put together to make items out of them. And I became successful at it. And I may become more creative and I enjoy it. So, okay, Daphne says, cost of living with 2 young kids is hard to lower in the lower mainland. We are planning to move away so we can both be self-employed and follow our life purposes. Good for you, Daphne. Make it happen. If you're living, which region are you living in, BC or where? Let me know. Cost of living here in BC is the most expensive ever in Canada because I have actually went online. People think it's going to be a lot easier in Toronto. No, the cost of living is pretty well almost the same there as it is here. Maple Ridge, yeah, if you live in Maple Ridge, I'll give you a little bit of a heads up. Let me give you a bit of a heads up. Our monies, I'll give you guys a bit of a little bit of a heads up what's going to happen. By the end of this year, beginning of next year, our financial status will be way better. Gas, fuel prices will drop drastically. Electricity will be free. Like a lot of changes, going to be major, major changes. We're not going to go through a lot of what you think it is. We're going to go through a lot of shifting, which is good. It's just a matter of timing. Now, if you want to move out of town, what area you think you're looking at, Daphne? I got a friend of mine actually moved to the area where it's Field, BC, small town and farm town near the area Field, and she says that it's a quiet area, out of the reach. You got to travel, I think, 20 or 30 miles to get to the nearest hospital, but she says that it's quiet there, and the farmers. She's always wanted to get into the farming community, so she's got her own little animals with her, and there's a couple of cows and a couple of sheep, and like she's just happy. But she says she's never been happier because no one's telling her what to do, and she worked for a corporate business. Small town outside London, Ontario. We also looked at Williams Lake. Williams Lake right now is a little bit fire. happening out there right now, so it's not as safe as you would say. I'm not saying don't go, but I check it out for you because Williams Lake already had a major fire down there. Twice actually. When a couple years back, when I was traveling, Williams Lake was had a fire there before, mushroom fire, and um, then it happened again a couple weeks ago. And so Nicole says I'm in Chilcotin and I love it out here, living remotely in the mountains. So happy I left the lower mainland. Yeah, see, there's a good place to go, Chilcotin. That's a nice place to be. That's why I want the city too much. I'm in the corporate world and we want to own a farm and land. Um, your land value prices are going to go down. They're going to drastically drop either the end of this year or beginning of next year for sure. Like I'm telling you, we're looking at the 1955 housing prices. Like anybody who actually has a house right now that's thinking about selling it, do it now because your price of value of houses are going to go down really low. Um, I'm telling you guys, that's what I saw. Their spirit says it's going to happen. It's going to be because they're going to have a crash. They're going to have the Wall Street's going to crash, and we're looking at, you know, lower value of properties. So if you want to do it now before it's too late. Yeah. So it's I already know Wall Street's going to crash soon. It's expected. My mother was part of the Dirty 30s back then, back in 32, where they had called the Dust Bowls. When she lived in Saskatchewan at the time, and they said it was really. I mean, for farmers back then, they were used to it. But anybody lived in the city, you'd be in lineups and soup lineups again. You know, like they don't want to go that direction. Yeah, going back in 1955, around that time, whether if you look at 1955, if you guys can do the research and look up 1955 gas prices in Canada, that's exactly what you're going to get. Okay, 1955 housing prices, look it up. That's exactly how it's going to turn out. We're not going to be doing any taxes. Our taxes are going to be pretty well graced. That'll be all thrown away. All of our credit cards are going to be graced. Um, no more taxes. We're not paying any more taxes. But our credit cards can be all graced, so we don't have to pay any more debts, and we're starting from scratch because we will be in a different type of system where we'll have our own money. Oh, Catherine says 29 cents a liter. Good. That's exactly what it's going to look like in 1955. Can you picture yourself 29 cents a liter? And then someone's going to say, well, does our wages go down? No, the wages won't go down. The reason wages went up was because of the cost of living. And every time your wages went up, the housing prices went up even higher. And they knew that. They're just making you think that you're actually making more money. You're not. You're still working two jobs. It used to be back in 1955, there was only one person working in the household, and mother was at home with kids at home. Mom was not working outside the house. She was at home. My recommendation right now is to hold off, on the purchase of land. I would wait a little longer, but if you own a house, I would say sell it, put it in the market, and then rent it. Rent a place temporarily. When the crash is going to come, maybe we'll hold off. I'm not kidding you guys it's going to happen. Okay, I'm waiting for it. They're telling me you're looking around possibly September, October this month. It may end, it's going to hit. All I saw was it looked like a clock. Like I seen this clock. I was looking at the stock market, and I saw this clock, and it's going tick, 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 tick. Now the clock's going backwards, and it went. The clock fell off the wall. That's how I seen the vision. The clock fell off the wall on the ground. I went, oh, stock market crash. The clock's not working. So, and I asked, and in fact, here I'll tell you guys this. Here's how I'll tell you how it works. So I got my pendulum right now. We'll share this with you guys so you guys get an idea. So anything's running back and forth means no. Anything goes in a circle means yes, or depends on how it works. Now I'm asking Spirit, are we going to have a stock market crash this year? Okay, they're saying yes. Now I'm not even waving my hand. And they're saying Now, is it going to happen in September? Is it going into October? So you're looking at September stock market crash in September, guys. Okay. And the debt clock is actually going in reverse. So we're no longer have to pay a debt. Now, November is going to be very important. November the 5th is going to be very, very important for all of us. A good positive importance. That's when everybody will go through like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Okay. See, that's what they're doing. Spirits let you know to celebrate. This is a celebrated time. So, yeah, Gregorian calendar, keep in mind. Exactly. So we're going to be shifting, and the calendar, they're going to be shifting the calendar to the 28 days each month. We're going to have 13 months back again. The Julian calendar will be coming out. We're going back to the 28 days per month. We're going to the original should be. Thank you. They're going to make it where we will have the 13 months like it was supposed to be before, because it was actually the Rothschilds that changed all that. The Rockefellers changed the calendars. So nobody knows that. They changed the calendars a long time ago, and the churches changed the calendars. They went along with it. So they did it purposely because they want to control the people. That's why. Anything to do with, they created a holiday, they always named it after royalty. And so why are we celebrating Queen Victoria's birthday? What for? She's dead. Right? Why are we celebrating the Queen's birthday? What for? She's dead. Why are we celebrating a royal family's birthdays? What for? They're dead. Why are we celebrating any royal family? What for? They're not even here. But why are we celebrating their birthday? Because they were slave holders. They were slave leaders. Why are we celebrating a slave leader? Okay, now when I get hit in the back of the hand, that's spirit telling you that's exactly what they were. They were slave leaders. Right? So Jesse says, looking forward to the economic society changes. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. And everyone is. Like I said before, we are in the Lionsgate portal, and thank you guys. We are getting everything's shifting. Now, I want to explain more. You helped me for a reason. See how they're popping me in the hand, and I'm not even doing nothing. Thank you guys. So what happens is, I'll give you an example. Let's I'm going to bring this up here for a minute. Okay. Okay. So I might bring up my files here. What to do and not do during the powerful Lionsgate portal between now and the August 12th. So basically between the 8th and the 12th of August, according to the spiritual guide. Okay, so basically this is the guidance of it. So the whole thing really is like the Lionsgate portal is also known as the 888 portal and is the most powerful manifestation portal of the year. Now, when our sun is aligning, okay, here's the sun is aligning with the star Sirius and Orion's belt, astrologer and spiritual guide. That's who we are. Okay. Now, we're explained that we're waiting for a miracle. And most people saying they're waiting for a miracle. And what we're waiting for is the high vibration of energy. It's basically it's all of us. We are going through the transition of high energy. Okay. Now, when we're going through high energy frequencies, that's what gives us that you start noticing your chest start to feel like it's like it's swelling up. As like, and you're going like, oh man, my chest is like feels like I'm. And some people say it feels like you're going to have a heart attack. It's not, or like an anxiety attack. That is a wrong word to use, because anxiety attack that means you're having anxiety. Anxiety, this type of thing is actually they're trying to raise your vibration, and your body is not used to it. So you're going like, oh, wow, that feels weird, and it feels like sometimes you need to get your breath, and sometimes people say they feel dizzy. Okay, now. There was I was actually online earlier with another website on Telegram, And there was a lady who I spoke to, and she said that that since the had the Lionsgate portal, she every morning she used to wake up dizzy. But ever since they had the Lionsgate portal, she says the first time she never got dizzy. Why? Because I feel that her spirit was not aligned to the proper frequency. And frequency is not a bad thing. Frequency means as Earth's energy, we are shifting. That's the reason why. Now, she must have really manifested or shifted long before, and she was still trying to figure out, okay, where do I fit in here? But I don't think she knew what to do or how to do it, because when doctors always want to medicate you, and they want to put you on antidepressants, okay, and when doctors put you on antidepressants, then they have a tendency of making you feel like you can't think for yourself, that you don't need to think for yourself. Just take this, and then makes themselves $25,000. In the meantime, you're not doing anything about it. You're not gaining anything from it. All you're really doing is they're just shutting you off, and that you can't think for yourself. So I would not pay attention to what the doctors are telling you, and I'm being very honest about this, because they will not even know how to handle it. Okay, and that's the thing with these guys. So what we're learning to do now is learn how to harness our own power. Yeah, that's one thing I've always wanted to do, or have done, trying to share it with people, is learn how to harness your power. Now, we all are empowered. We all have this empowerment. When you are out there, when you walk down the street, and you say you had a really wonderful feeling in the morning, and you get dressed, and you say to yourself, I look really good. I'm going to go walk out there and just go have some fun. Maybe I'm going to go grocery shopping. Maybe I'm going to go just for a long walk, just so we go down the beach. You've already started manifesting your day. You've already started manifesting your feelings of how you feel for that day, because your higher self, wants to rejoice. And because now the higher self, if you don't know what higher self is, you have a higher consciousness that already knows what you want, what it wants to do. And so our higher consciousness actually talks to ourselves. That's the reason why sometimes we say, why are we talking to ourselves, but yet we answer ourselves? Like you say, oh, okay, I wonder if this makes any sense. And all of a sudden something tells you in your mind, yeah, this is it. Okay, that's your higher self saying yes. So we go through this. Now, Heidi, for example, says, have to find a place to live in December or sooner, May, January, or February. Has to do with the situation, same as our, what? Doesn't say. Okay. So the thing is that there are so many things that, let's see, you have to find a place and live in summer or sooner. I would say give yourself till November. Okay, for Heidi, wait until November. Around November, December. What you'll find is something out of town, but it will be on the outskirts. But when you do find it, it's a temporary place to stay. I don't see you unpacking everything, just temporary until you find the real place, because I'm seeing a house offered to you to live in later on, that to say, hey, you want this one here, you can rent this one, or rent to buy. That's going to happen down the road. But I would say wait till around November, December. Okay, this is what it's telling me here. Now, most of the time, if you're living in Manitoba, and if I said to you, move November, December, people say you're crazy, because in the winter season in Manitoba, it's so cold that most people will never sell a house, nor they will ever sell a car until they wait until springtime, because that's where it's thawed out and the pipeline's better, like the water pipes and all is better. But when everything freezes up, it sounds too good to be true. So they always say wait until the springtime until you buy a place. Okay. Okay. So basically, Lionsgate also, what it does, and it's like it relates to spirituality and astrology. Most people do know that. Refers to a very significant cosmic event that takes place annually, and again between the 8th and the 12th. Okay. Now the 8th, okay, 8/8, which is the 8th day, 8th month, is considered significant in numerology. And the number 8 represents, I always said before, the infinity. A friend of mine sent this to me. I'm just reading it from them. Okay. Yeah, I already saw that, guys. Okay. Reaping the benefits. Okay, ask them about ask about reaping the benefits. Reaping the benefits of your Lionsgate portal. Number 1. So how can we reap the benefits and conjure up some luck of our own? And I would not use the word luck. Creativity of our own. Okay, creative, what we want to be, what we want to own. Manifesting or repeating the following affirmations. I need to create our own following affirmation. It's worth your while, guys, to create an affirmation each day. For example, I do my affirmations before I go to bed, or affirmations anytime I have a chance, like if I can think about time doing it. And what it is, like, I'll ask Spirit every night about, what do I prepare for the next day, and I'll ask the questions and they'll give me answers. But if they don't give me answers, it means I have to search it out. And so basically, for example, like they'll say to you, like, are you living in your dream home? Okay. Maybe we haven't found our dream home yet. You have, and do you really have all that you manifested? No. Okay. You can hear the abundance around. Like, you can hear people ask for abundance continuously, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's no shame in it. Like, and you gotta also try to be precise what abundance means. Abundance has so many meanings. So if you want financial abundance, financial income, higher amount, you got to ask for, I need to make more money here today. So I'm asking Spirit, I see myself making more money today. See, I'm saying I'm seeing myself doing this, more money coming in the door. So, but when you say, well, I'm hoping that it will come, you're not manifesting. You're just using the word hope. Okay, Jesse says, I'm still worried about the physical. Okay, we're looking okay, you're worried about the physical aspect. Will we need food and water put away? Yes, just for a few months. I still do. So put it for a few months. Yes, put water and food away, and lots of cash. Put it away as much as you possibly can, because your banks will be closed once the stock market crashes. The banks won't be open. You won't be able to access your bank account. They'll be shutting doors. No matter what bank account you got, they're going to shut doors. So you have to have as much cash as available on hand, hidden away, whatever you can, because when that stock market goes down, guys, I'm not kidding you. Now, it may be soft. It may be a soft spot stock market crash, but I got a funny feeling it's going to be a hard hit just to wake people up. Okay? It has to. It just has the way it works. Also, like for example, affirmation is also meditation. Visualization is important. Spend the time in meditation to contact with, like, your heightened energies, or even your guides. You visualize your goals and intentions, and imagine them coming to fruition. Like, you got to create. It's important to create a fruition of what you want in life. So if you say, I am abundant in all areas of my life. Okay, you can say that, because you're actually foreseeing your futures, and it's important. And setting intentions, which is, like, write down your intentions. Like, if you got, like, I always keep my notebook with me all the time. Okay, when I write things down, guys, it's right in here. Like, I've got, my wife can tell you, I keep buying scribblers over scribblers, because it's important to write everything down, that, whatever I've written down to create affirmations, that sort of thing. It's important to do that, because if we don't, it's going to be harder on ourselves. If we, sometimes you say, well, I forgot what I wrote down, or I forgot what I remembered. So this way here, if you write it down, you won't forget. Diane says they're selling food dehydrators. Go for it. Yeah, it's worth your while to get to. I got 2 food dehydrators. I always have them on hand. I make my own raisins from my own grapes too. Get yourself some fruits. Anything that you dehydrate your meats. It's worth your while. Your beef, it's worthwhile. Let's see. Keep small monetary on hand, like dollars and five bills. Yeah, don't want to pay 20s for a jug of milk. You don't. But you know what? Here's what I will recommend too, is to contact your nearest farmer, any farmers that are nearby. Support them financially, guys, because our government right now is trying to stop the farmer from selling anything off their farm. So if you can find a farmer that you can secretly go see, there actually are farmers here in BC right now that are giving away their vegetables for free. They're not wrong with nothing wrong with them. They have just too many in the abundance, and the stores are refusing their vegetables. And these farmers' foods are organically done, organically grown, and the stores are refusing their foods. They want there's because they're told by the new rule that they have to be under a Monsanto contract. Okay, so it's time. Yes, Catherine, it's time to barter. And but like I said before, these farmers are giving away. I'm talking about they got bins and huge bins of vegetables, potatoes, um, you name it. Yeah, just start collecting. Okay, no, this is not going to be like another Ireland. No, just start. Because I have potatoes, every vegetable. Okay, carrots, you name it, whatever food. Start creating your own stews and jar them, can them. Okay, start creating your own stews and everything, and start canning them. Start getting quart sealers and jars. My mother used to make borscht. My father and my mom and dad, they used to make canned fruit of jars of it, jars and jars of fruits, jars and jars of all kinds of foods. And we had quart sealers. My dad actually, as you go in the basement, he had 2x6 shelves going across the side, and he had them all lined up with quart sealers, and whatever you want is all there. He had, if you want cherries for dessert and whatever, our parents had all that available. I mean, it's what farmers are doing. They actually create their own stuff, so it's worth your while. Setting intentions. Write down your intentions, goals, and desires. Please, guys, it's important that if you haven't done it yet, try it. It's worth your while. Also, the act of writing helps to clarify and solidify your aims. Okay, so basically, if you want to write down, like for example, if you want to make contact with someone who's passed away, you write down. I always get them to write down their name 3 times, and then you can start talking to them. As I call automatic writing. And you'll always have a guide, someone in the family that actually will come through for you and give you a message. And if you don't think you're going to get a message through on paper and pen, they're going to try and come through to you on a dream time. They will appear. Try not to be afraid of them. They're just there to help you out. But they also have a symbolic reason. And I mean, if it looks like they're suffering, they're not. In the spirit world, they never suffer. And that's one thing most people may not realize. People in the spirit world do not suffer. They show you that's probably yourself. They're just reflecting it like a mirrored version that you are yourself feeling that way. They're showing you what it feels, what it looks like. So you reflect on to what you want to manifest in your life and the steps needed to achieve it. Now, energy healing is important. Okay, start learning that if you haven't. We all have different kinds of energy healing we use. Participate in energy healing practices, and if you don't know Reiki, worth your while. If you've never used Reiki before, find somebody who's Reiki master. If you want to learn from them, take the training and take the courses. There's 3 courses in it. But once you learn the levels, you can actually start your own business. You can become your own Reiki master. Crystal healing is what I do, and I am busy with crystal healing. I make my own healing tools. And that's earth medicine, guys. We are getting grounded. If you step on the ground, take off your shoes, take off your socks, walk on bare feet, walk on the ground, you're getting grounded. That's the closest thing to grounding. And that's why I said crystal healing is very important. People do also sound healing, which to help align your chakras, they'll say, or to balance your energies. Depends on every individual. Everybody does it differently. Some people use their drums, hand drums. It depends. Even crystal bowls, brass bowls. So you'll find which one will fit for you. It's worth your while. Also, connecting with higher realms, like use this time to connect with your higher self, because we do have a higher self. I mentioned it earlier before that our higher self it's our higher self is actually your higher consciousness. We already seen what's going to happen. We just have to be prepared for it. So, for example, if somebody asks you a question about trying something out, and they'll say, "Okay, let's do this now," and you'll say, "Oh no, I'm not sure if I should do that." Why? Well, I don't know. I'll get this feeling like I want to, but I don't. I'm afraid of making mistakes. Okay, that's your consciousness is not telling you that. That's you stopping yourself from doing it. If your higher consciousness will tell you, let's do it. So you got to take chances. Now, your insights you may receive during this period, basically, you will start to feel presence of spirits around you. Again, it's like a wave of energy, and sometimes people will say, if you light a white candle, for example, and you light it, and you light a white candle, I prefer white candles because they're beautiful. They're calling basically the white candle represent is actually having contact with angels, your angels, and they actually, when you light them up, the flame will begin to grow. The line will actually get long. I've seen candles actually, the wicks, the candles burn so fast on one side that the wick will roll down on the side. Like literally, it'll just melt the wax so quickly on one side, and we don't know why it does that, but that's the presence of energy of angels in the room. Gratitude and reflection is important to actually reflect on your journey so far and express gratitude for your lessons that are learned from the process made, or your progressiveness. Because basically, once you've learned to learn the lessons you use and have utilized that, is worth your while. And you'll start noticing it. You'll start creating. You'll have more. How do you say? You'll have more confidence in yourself, especially when you go to work or other like-minded people that you want. And I'm sure you're going to have friends going to say to you, "You're not the same. You're not the person I used to remember. Who are you?" That used to happen to me when I started using my skills 40 years ago. I got into this work. It's been a long time, and people will say to me, "You're not the Derek I once knew. Like, where's this Derek? Where's the Derek that I knew?" Because I'm not that guy anymore. I'm not the swearing, bad, cursing, cocky attitude guy. I'm not that guy anymore. I'm not the guy that out there to go party. I'm not the guy out there. I mean, it doesn't hurt to party once in a while, but I mean, I'm talking about party hard, crazy stuff. I'm not that guy anymore. Why? Because, and it doesn't really mean, and that means nothing but you haven't because you've grown up. It's just that there's a part of you that you want to fulfill. You want to fulfill a dream, and you want to better yourself than your parents. And that's where your parents at times they'll look at you and they say you're not the same person we once knew. Like, what happened to you? Like, we're like my mom, my dad, my mother was absolutely delighted that I was into this work more often through the years. My father was really worried about me, and he would say, "Well, if you cut your hair short, and you get rid of those cowboy boots and start acting and get rid of those earrings," he says, "you'll have friends." I said, "Pop, I've got more friends in this world than you know." But see, his way of thinking, because he was brought up military wise. My father was a crew cut military. I was the army brat in my family. Like, I'm not army brat, but my father raised us as military. Like, when the time my father was in the military, he raised me. I had to have the same kind of haircut as him. Like, I was brush cut kid. I hated it. But my father says, if you don't get a brush cut, you're a communist. Like, that's what my father believed, because he was taught that way in the military. I had to slowly get away from my dad until he let go of his own self of being so caught up in the military's way, but also being brainwashed by the media, being brainwashed by what he's seen on TV, or brainwashed by other guys that he hung out with. And so when the hippie days started happening, late 60s, my father started giving in a little bit. He let his hair down, so to speak.
And my father gave me permission to let my hair grow a little longer in the early 70s. But again, um, that was me, right? Heidi says, Heidi, landlord is buying a house with land. If he gets it, landlord sold a house, waiting for the rest of the money in December. Buyer, this place he wants to buy. There is a place in Alberta. That's a place in Alberta. What? I missed that part. I clicked on it here. Okay. Sold a house, waiting for the money in December. Buyer, this place he wants to buy. It is a place in Alberta that he wants. He's been talking to a bank about it. He's helping to get the money from the bank. He has a big debt to pay off first. What he has left over after the debt, not much. What should he do? They don't want to be homeless. That is his decision that he made. He can't be homeless. He sold the house because you make good money on it. There are people out there that will have lots and lots of money. I've seen people I've met people that actually had thousands and thousands of dollars. Let's put it this way: one of my friends actually had well over $250,000 in her bank account, and she sold her apartment. Okay, now she didn't sell her apartment because she made $250,000, but she already had $250,000 plus her apartment, and she kept on saying she didn't have any money. She's running low on money. People have gotten used to being fearful of not having anything. And once you start, even if you had hundreds of thousands of dollars in your bank account, they're still not happy. They'll always say, "Oh, I don't have any money," or they'll be afraid of giving up or buying something what if they lose money on it. That's your choice. That's their choice. How they invest in it is their decision. It's not your decision. How can they be homeless if they already sold a house? Doesn't make any sense. Now, if he wants to buy another house, and Alberta's housing is not as expensive compared to BC, not at all. I can tell you that right now. There are houses right now. There's small towns that are suffering, wanting to sell houses. Smaller towns in Alberta, say Didsbury, Olds, Carstairs, Claresholm, Cremona. You get into the bigger cities, you're paying more. But if you're in the smaller towns, you're not. I know the areas because that's where I lived. And the houses there are cheap. They're not as expensive. If he wants to live in Alberta, there's plenty of places. But move to a small town, you have to move to a big city. Like, don't go to Red Deer, don't go to Calgary, Edmonton, right? Stick to being a smaller town, and you'll be fine. I got friends that actually moved to Didsbury, which I actually used to go to school there back in the back in the early 70s. And they moved to Didsbury, population 10,000. That's it. Towns they're making okay. So everybody's different. She has a small healing center, and people coming there, no problem. So everyone has their own place. They just have to find the right place to be comfortable. A lot of farmers. One good thing about the farmers in Alberta will be fine. They'll survive because they're separating themselves away from Ontario, from Canada. They're separating themselves from the rules and regulations of Trudeau's Liberal government. And the same with Quebec. Quebec has actually separated themselves from Canada, and they're safe. They won't be going through the same trauma. They've already gone through enough trauma already. Police abuse to the citizens. His debt is a lot higher. His business went under. Well, depending what kind of business was he in, it was that lot higher. Like, what did he do to owe so much? Once you find out what kind of business he had, what he can do to make it better. If I find that out, then I can probably give him a hand, show him what he can do. I'll still say small towns better for him than a big city if he wants to do that. If he's going to Alberta, it's better off there. Um, so the thing is that there are so many different varieties of things most people may not realize that we're learning. So we are be learning right now, as far as Lionsgate portal, we're learning about empowerment. Okay, he was a trucker in his own business. Yeah, and you know why? AI is taking over truckers. They're actually it's not his fault. They've got these artificial intelligent truckers, trucking companies now. They're truckerless, and they're trying to get rid of all the truckers. And guess whose idea was that? Our liberal government. And so, what he may have to do, if he was a trucker, his own business, he can still establish a trucking business, but try to do it in a smaller town. And it's easier for him that way without him having to lose everything. Like basically be like create. He can still do a delivery service, but do within the region instead of having to travel so far. Or again, maybe he's going to have to go into something else that he's always wanted to do too. Like, you can be a trucker all your life, but maybe it's time to change. There's a guy that I know, and I'll be honest with you. I know as a fellow I know, he was a trucker first, and then he got out of trucking because he had an injury. And then someone caught him. Someone he knew in the construction business, and the guy had hard hats. Like he says, this guy had a hard. This guy was selling hard hats, like for constructions, and the guy couldn't sell these hard hats worth a darn. Like they're just plain, blue, white, pink, weren't selling. And a friend of his he knew actually does the dipping of the design of a picture, and they dip it in the water with the design with the helmet, and they pull it out. It looks like a brand new design helmet, which makes more money on. He started getting into the business. He thought, you know what, I'm going to try this. Now this man is in demand. All he's done patriotic designs with printing, and he does it on hard hats. Done this on clothing. Like he's phenomenal. So he may have to go to the other direction, which is instead of being a delivery, instead of being a trucker, but have his own business at home. Like try to work something from home that the public will buy from him, manufacture. He lost everything, but yeah, he's telling you he lost everything. But what did he lose? What caused him to lose everything? What is it that he had lost in it? I strongly feel and believe that this collapse and everything that is happening right now is to humble humanity never like before, because we have been living wrong so long. Yes, time to get back to the basics and more simple life. We've got used to having too much. You know what? There's a catch-22 to that. There's nothing wrong with having too much. What it is that what you've always wanted in life. There are people that are collectors, antique collectors for years, and they're actually doing better now than ever before. They were in the business for many years, and then there was a couple of generations, and then people were not interested in buying antiques. My kids' generation, they weren't interested in buying antiques. The grandkids now, yes, they want antiques. Why? That new generation, new kids being born, they want to have the antiques because they think it's great. New kids that are born today, they want to get into the rocks and buying and selling rocks. And there's actually, I know a boy right now is 12 years old, 13 years old, and he buys and sells gems, rocks and gems, and he's making more money. He's making money more than his mom and dad because he got into rock and gem. Does shows, small table, one table, sells rocks and gems, makes more money. He makes more money in 1 month than his dad. Now his dad came on board and helping him. Like, okay, well, my son can do this, I'm going to do it too. But his son did it as a hobby, it turned itself into a business. So it's, you got to find your niche. You got to find where you fit. That's going to benefit you. Again, it's going to be it's a wake up call for everyone right now. And We just don't realize how much is awoken us. Period. You know. Um, so see, Nicole, if you got into rocks and gems, you would do well. Okay. And I mean, I am into rocks and gems. I actually joined a BC Rock and Gem. I'm kicking ass. I'm doing more. I'm doing better now than ever before. I'm so happy because it's different. I've been around rocks and gems all my life. Didn't realize it, but I didn't realize you can help people because they're not rocks and gems are not just collecting rocks and gems. Rocks and gems are also based on healing, right? Um, yeah. See, Catherine says I'm an antique collector and seller, um, plus a gem hoarder. Good for you, Catherine. I'll tell you something. Um, I also had a business back in 1998, 99, and I had a company called the House of Bargains, and I was actually buying and selling antiques, and we did quite well. Did it in Surrey, across the street from the Surrey Central and one of the major stores, malls. And we were across the street from them, and where the CIBC Bank is in Surrey, that where before it was the Buy Bank, we had our store there. We were very successful, but because the person who owned the building sold it out from under us, we got kicked out, and they brought the CIBC Bank in, and they took over the whole thing, the whole building. So but we were very successful there. Small store, and we kicked ass. We did so well in antiques. And I thought to myself, why were we kicked out, and how come we couldn't keep the place? Like, but the owners who own the land thought they're going to make more money because it's a corporation that gave them more value of the land so they can come in. That was Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. Okay, banks. And so basically that landowner said, "Oh yeah, you can have it." So they bought it. So where do you go from there? My wife and I we found a place in New Westminster, and we thought it'd be a good place. We had to renovate the building. We spent 3 months renovating it. Looked really, really good. But as far as the location, selling to the public, I mean, it had both sides to park. But the thing is that we're in the wrong location where people back then didn't have the money. They weren't buying in that region. These were a lower income, not welfare, just lower income buyers, but they really weren't interested as much in antiques compared to where we were before. We were in the central part of the city where people were buying antiques, but in the area of New West, the antiques business was just totally different. So we ended up closing our doors, and we were there for 6 months, almost a year. And then I said, you know what? No, I'm not going to do this. So we went into doing online, not online, doing like a garage sales type of thing, and we were selling our antiques for a while that way, and then I got into something else. So Catherine is a mug collector of uranium glass, and now it's booming as we were lied about the use of the uranium, and it's a good thing to drink out of. So he's driving from another company, only making a certain amount of money each month. Okay, that's the other trucker. Okay, the trucker. Okay, so yeah, they're making you. Yeah, this is because the government wants to make money. That's why they're doing it, Catherine. That's what they do. They lie to us a lot. Like say for example, they're saying to you. Remember, they said, "Stay out of the sun. The sun's going to give you cancer." No, we've had people standing out in the sun for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Thousands of years. Did anybody die of cancer? No. But did they spray the air to prevent you from actually getting the proper sun? Okay. And so what they do, they said, here, buy this cream and put it on, and it'll cause skin cancer. But you won't care as long as you're not out of the sun. No. So if you ever get sunburn, vinegar. Use vinegar. Spray it on yourself. Rub it in. You smell like a French fry, but you smell good. works. You don't peel. Yes, get back to copper pipes. Copper is very good for you. Copper cups, copper plates. We used to have all that before. Then they were saying, oh, no, you shouldn't do that. It's not recommended. Bullshit. Copper is coming back. Copper has a higher energy. Now, anything that's made before 1984, any copper made before 1984 is pure copper. Anything after 1984 is only 80%, only 80% copper and 20% nickel. So it's not pure copper. So you got to make sure you find, if you want to find antique copper cups, antique copper pots, that sort of thing, that's 100% copper. Why do you think our Canadian government wanted to remove the copper coin? Because that was pure copper, and it was worth more money than any other coin on the market. More than the quarter, more than the dime, more than the nickel. But because and then they used the excuse of the homeless people cutting all the copper wires and cutting down all these places that really is the copper, because they got smart and they took the copper in to a recycler and sold the copper, and the recycler paid them for the cut up copper. Now, here's what you got to do. Make sure that you have certain type of protection that they'll ask you, like you'll ask them, where'd you get the copper from? Now, if they say, you'll figure it out. There has to be a way. Now, I remember a friend of mine used to take his copper and he used to melt it all in a barrel, like melt all the wire, all the plastic off the copper first, and then he would take the copper in. But these guys were bringing the copper in with the plastic wiring on it, the plastic coating on it. Now, if they bring the copper in with plastic coating, you don't accept it. Okay? People have to get smart. You can melt it down and make yourself into something else. Okay, so let's get back to Lionsgate again. And remember, guys, between the 8th and the 12th is important. So you're going to go through that changes for even a while longer yet. So between now and the 12th. So look forward to it. You're going to have vivid dreams. And it's important, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with having vivid dreams. None whatsoever. Okay? And again, you're going to have more than just one dream. Like I said, ever since this actually, myself, I've been having 6 to 8 dreams a night. And I remember them all, which is crazy, but I remember them all. So, which is a good thing, right? Hey, Catherine Frank, how you doing? Nice to see you in the chat rooms. Guys, those are actually in the Facebook as well as YouTube chat room. Thank you, guys, and welcome. So, meditations, again, like I said before, is even important. Can be very useful during this time. Basically, you just learn to practice, close your eyes and focus on breathing, make it deep and regular. When inhaling, envision a beautiful, like some people said, I tell them to envision a beautiful white light, like as if even like a third eye or a vision of just creation right in here. And you'll notice that there's like almost like a light bulb, or you can visualize the light bulb, just thought of it, and that's right there. And then whatever you co-create in your vision, and you basically say, I am receptive to new creative ideas and welcome inspiration now. That's all you have to say. I am receptive to create ideas and welcome inspiration now. And you'd be surprised. Okay? So anybody here in the month of Taurus? Let's see here. Who's Taurus? Let's see. Let me go into my linings of here. This is very basically anybody who's on the Lionsgate portal. This is the message for anybody who's Taurus. Right, guys, ready? Anybody's Taurus, it is best to use this cosmic energy to enhance and stabilize your domestic and family life. You can begin by decluttering the house and rearranging the place where you live so it becomes more comfortable and balanced. After that, you may light a candle or incense to represent that kind of light if you want to introduce it into your home. Close your eyes and think about what you want to achieve in your family and your emotional health. Okay? And you jot down any insights that you have during this time, like make sure you have a pen and paper by your side, and develop this positive statement such as, my home is a haven of peace and love. Okay, anybody in the month of Taurus, which is my son. Okay, my home is a haven of peace and love. Anybody's Taurus. Anybody's Gemini on line here, because basically, like I said before, this is where Lionsgate portal represents the astrological zodiac. Now, Gemini, it's a good place to expand your mental horizons and relations with people. One effective ritual could be to enhance the quality of your communication and learning processes. Put some items you like, such as books, journals, other items associated with communication, and place a candle or an incense, sage, to symbolize the light that you want to shine on your life. Now, you take a few minutes to think about your current projects, your objectives, and any tasks or subjects you could communicate better. Okay. Take note of anything you wish to know during this ritual as insights or ideas, and you develop the positive statements such as, I welcome my new perspectives in my life. This is Gemini. I welcome new perspectives in my life. Okay. So, month of Cancer, that's people in July, early part of July. This is a perfect time to work on financial and personal issues. It is recommended that the ritual be created based on a concept of prosperity and values. Begin by categorizing your money and deciding on your financial objectives, and make a list of goals. Okay? Or cut out pictures of what you want your financial status to be in the future. Light a candle again, or a sage, and to represent the light that you want to bring into your financial personal life. And you take a few minutes to think about your values and how you can live them daily. You take notes of any ideas in the process, whether or at an insight or a plan. And you could also use this affirmation for Cancer people. I draw wealth and prosperity into my life. For Cancer, I draw wealth and prosperity into my life. Okay. Leos, this is the time to build your identity, self-actualization, and personal development. Establish a ritual that would be based on the idea of personal growth and development. You might start with a question, what do I want to achieve to myself or for myself, and how do I want to be? Okay, make a dream board, or you can write down your goals and what you must do to get there. Again, you light up some incense or candle, and a good thing is you come into, same thing what comes into your life. You take a few minutes to ensure that your behaviors are consistent with your core. Take notes of any ideas or plans that you may wish to make. Say this affirmation. This is for the Leo people. I accept who I am, and I am proud of who I am. I accept who I am, and I am proud of who I am. Okay? Virgos. This is the time to build your identity, self-actualization, and personal development. You basically establish a ritual that would be based on the idea of personal growth. Again, you start with a question, what do I do to achieve for myself, and how do I want to be, or where do I want to be? Make a dream board. Again, write down your goals. And again, you light a candle or incense or sage. And again, the representation of light and goodness, things you always want in your life. You take a few minutes to ensure your behaviors are consistent with your core, right in here. Okay. Take notes of any ideas or plans that you may wish to make. So you say this affirmation. These are for the Leo people. I accept who I am. I'm proud of who I am. I've already said this once before, but I had to say this. Now, Virgos. Make a point, a harness. For Virgos is a little bit different, and I'll tell you why. Because Virgos are outstanding people. Well, you'll see. You'll find out why. Again, you establish your marking. You create your own sage, your cleansing, your prayer. Then you put in there, you start by setting up a quiet environment for instance, in a room with features like you make what you want to relax. And then you do things that will allow you to be one with yourself. For instance, you start writing, you start sketching, and even contemplating. You put a candle to burn as a sign of the light you want to be given, or a light that you want to pass on. Now, basically, I told you before, take a white candle. White candles are really beneficial. You think about your spiritual objectives and that what you want to do about your inner issues. You jot down any ideas that may be revealed during the process, and you chant your information. You just basically say out loud, I let go of all that is no longer beneficial to me, and to find serenity. I let go of all that is no longer beneficial to me and find serenity. Once you do this, you will notice a big difference in your life. Now, Librans, okay, I see what you're doing. Okay, I'll do it in a minute. Librans, use this time to improve networking and social relationships. Now, establish a practice centered on the need to build up a social and defined goals. Now, this is me. I'm a Libran, okay? So, begin by categorizing the people you know and contacting those who can help you achieve your goals. Then you make a collage of what you want to achieve in life and what you must do to achieve them. You bless your candle, do your sage, smudging, prayer, and again, your desired lives. You write down any insight or plan that comes to mind during the ritual, and you create affirmation, again, related to the desired social interpretation or interaction and attainment or personal aspirations. So basically, for anybody who is Libran, you say, I draw positive and supportive people into my life. I draw positive and supportive people into my life. I find it much simpler. It's how you feel comfortable with yourself. Now, somebody said there's Scorpion. Who's a Scorpio? I thought I read a Scorpio person in here. Okay. Now, affirmations can help manage the Lionsgate energy in the right manner. This is for Scorpio people. You develop positive statements relevant to your career plans and your persona in the public domain. For instance, you can say, I'm sure of my professional skills and draw success to me. Further, write down your career goals and the steps to achieve them. Place a candle representing or your incense, and you create your own empowerment of what you want to see in your career. You think about your career plans. You take a sheet of paper, like I do, booklet. You write down your strategies and other ideas to help you proceed. So basically, you're making a life plan. Okay. Let's see here. Sagittarius. I think someone said they're Sagittarius. Who was that? Picard. Okay, Keith. Keith, this is for you. The light is perfect for your study. This is kind of funny. This is all about you, bro. Okay. Do the same affirmation as usual. You create a smudging affirmation candle, whichever you want, to your prayer. Here's you or anybody else. This light is perfect for your study, trip, and philosophical decisions. You inhale and without the breath, let go of any fears or doubts preventing you from stepping out of your control zone. This meditation can assist you in finding out more about your higher purposes and getting in touch with your truths. Develop positive statements and say, I'm ready for new experiences and grow my knowledge confidently. Okay, I'm ready for new experiences and grow my knowledge confidently. Now, that is you. Like, I've known you long enough because that's why you decided to get your bus and travel. Remember, you got that bus and just, okay, you're going to do it. You did it. Cappies, Capricorns. One of the ways you can build on the Lionsgate energy is through rituals, okay, as well everybody else. Put in here now, make a list of your goals. These are Cappies. Make a list of your goals and what you must do to make them as a representation of the light. Again, you start your candle or your incense, whichever you how to do it, or even your sage. You're basically creating a prayer of intention. Take some time to think about your goals and how you can live consistently with what you truly want. Okay, want. Say positive affirmations such as, now this is Capricorn, I welcome change and transformation with positivity and ease. I welcome change and transformation with positivity and ease. Okay. Aquarians, I said before earlier, talking with significant people about your plans and learning how to enhance your relationships might also be useful. And so for Aquarians, their affirmations are, I draw healthy and positive relationships into my life. I draw healthy and positive relationships into my life. That's my daughter, definitely. So Pisces, who's Pisces? They talk about Pisces. They just brought up here in the room. Pisces. Okay, Nikki, this is for you. Again, do the candle, incense prayer, the whole 9 yards. And then you take a few minutes to contemplate your purpose of wanting to change your routines and health for the better and jot down any ideas. Health, okay, routines. You say this positive affirmation, I am building a harmonious and satisfying daily schedule. I am building a harmonious and satisfying daily special. So something you're doing daily. Okay. Okay, Derek, what should I get into? Making money, career, love, to be, do. That is up to you. Okay. There's a start. You guys got lots to deal with. Let us share that with you. It'll help you guys, give you some confidence and affirmations. Now you know what you can do next. Okay, so coming up, let's see here. Room's getting full. Lots of people. Good. I'm glad. Okay, Nikki says again, Derek, what should I get into? What do you? Well, see, the thing is, Heidi, what do you love the most? What do you always want to do in life? And I tell people, no matter how old you are, what do you love to do in life? Yeah, isn't that cool? Mantra for Pisces, absolutely phenomenal. I love it. Helps a lot of people. And again, folks, if you can, as much as possible, if you missed part of the show, I'm going to actually have this on Rumble, recorded for Rumble, and you can get a copy of it, and you can refer back to the show itself. And I mean, this show itself actually will be saved. And you can always refer back, and if you need to pause it to see what I said, and they'll give you an idea how to deal with it. But again, this is all through the Lionsgate portal. This is good between the 8th and the 12th. Now, the portal itself is not just a simple portal, because again, it's a transition. Also, the moon is aligning with another moon, and the sun is aligning with another sun. So you got two suns and two moons. It's going to be really cool. So we're transitioning into new alignments and new balance. So the energy like this, going like this. We're all going with it. Like I tell people, it's just like the Mandela effect. Sometimes we say that we remember things that we remember in the past that other people used to do or say is not what we expect to hear today, because we go, and when they transition to the next life, or the next, no, not next life, when they transition to the next portal, which is this one, this new earth, that is left behind, but the new earth doesn't have the negatives. And I'll tell you why. I have noticed Hollywood lately, and Hollywood has been actually, a lot of movie stars now and actors and singers are complaining, have finally come forward, and now they're going after all the bad people that did things wrong to them when they were younger, and they're now finally coming forward and having them charged for human trafficking. Okay, so you'll start hearing more names. Now, the people back then, let's say what you remember, they remember when Jordan Maxwell said all of Hollywood got corrupted. That's Hollywood's past. The new people coming in that are new. A lot of your actors have transitioned into the new earth, and they don't remember what they did. They have no knowledge of what they did because they shifted. All the bad stuff is left behind, guys, and they've moved ahead. So they're good people now. They've transitioned to the new part, but they will remember the bad things that people done to them when they were younger. Now it's all coming forward. All of this is part of Lionsgate portal. This is all part of the Mandela effect. People are coming forward now, and they're going after these actors or have changed from the bad people, and they're once becoming better. Like they some of them actually have no knowledge of even doing what they did do. Like whether we, and it's going to be hard to accept it, but this is reason why God is shifting everything. God's not just eliminating. He's eliminating evil. He's taking out the bad people out, but he's taking the evilness inside of you. It's no longer yours. He's taking it out because it was never yours. You were never evil. It was put into you. It was attacked to you. Like it was an extraterrestrial being that attacked you and took over your body and controlled you. So now what God can do is transition you into the next step where those vrills can't follow. They just die off. So that's what's happening. Nikki says, was wondering what you see for the timeline, approximately month or year for speaking at Paracons regarding my ET experiences. That's going to I would say you're going to have more people coming to these Paracons that are wanting to participate and see what you talk about, because they themselves too will be the experiencers and wanting to say they're not alone either. So it's going to be a good thing for you. Yeah. Okay, Heidi says, yes, yesterday night I had a hard time going to sleep too. It took me hours for me to pass out. I know. And here's the cool part that happened to me. I'm sitting in the chair, and this is earlier morning. I had a huge ear pitching, like loud noise, like shh, in my inner ear. It was so strange. It wasn't a pitching of hurting my ear, but it was a pitch like as in I felt different. But it was like I went, wow, I feel cool. I feel better. I feel wow. I was like, it's hard to explain it. You're in that wow field. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did. I just went through that. Wow. So it's up to us and we're all going to go through something, whether you get a sound pitch in here, which basically is all balancing your auric energy, and also here. Okay, some people call it anxiety attacks. Those aren't anxiety attacks. These are all to do with your higher energy. Their spirit's trying to raise your energy higher. So it's not you having a heart attack. Okay, it feels like a heart attack maybe. Sometimes you feel like kind of lightheaded, you're going to fall down, but they're just trying to come through and get you to let go. Just, okay, God, take me, whatever I need to do. I'm looking forward to doing this. Let's do it. Let's get it done. Get her done. Go for it. You got nothing to lose. This is all gain for all of us. We have the right to fulfill our dreams. We have the right to have financial gain. It's not evil. It's not bad. Anybody tells you that, whether they say it's in the Bible, that's horse crap. I can tell you right now, God never said you can't have financial gain. Never did. Never, ever did. It's what because we all have to live by some means. You can't just be digging dirt and trying to plant a seed forever, because you'll reach a certain age. Sure, you can plant a seed if you want to. That's gardening. But there's a difference between planting your seed and planting your seeds, right? My good friend Barb Leonard used to always talk about planting your seed, and that's the intention. Once you plant a seed, everything's going to grow with you. And that's not just a visualization of it, but it's just having to say, once you placed yourself there in public, you planted a seed. Once they see you, what message you've given, now you're on call because they want to know more about you. Yes, our human bodies are changing and evolving from 3D to 5D. I'm yawning, but it doesn't mean I'm tired. It's an energy shifting. I'm going through the energy shift too. It hits me sometimes. This is indeed the time to have an open, loving heart. Downloads have been very strong to me, but I am an empath. To all those beginning or journey and your loving heart, trust your downloads. That's from my good friend Catherine Frank. Your guides are showing you important things through dreams and downloads. Thank you for support, my dear. Love yourself. Forgiveness is a key, especially now. See? She's right. This is, like I said before, this is an eye-opener for everybody. Now, I do know Travis was asking earlier. Let's Travis going to talk about here. Travis mentioned about something here earlier today. Travis, you still around, bro? Have you gone through any experiences yourself, my friend? Let me know. Okay, if you're still in the chat room, let me know. Okay, let's see here. Heidi says, why sometimes I remember my dreams, sometimes I don't. When I do, they are so real is because I'm not sleeping, and when I do, I wake up many times, and when I do pass out, it's hours later. I wake up later on in the morning, or is there another reason? You're going through a transition shift. You're just going through shifts. It's normal. Catherine is carbon based to crystalline bodies. Yeah, we're all transitioning. We're all going through shifts, and yes, it's not you. If you're not doing medications, like I tell people this, if you're not doing any medications, it's not. It's basically it's the earth shifting so much that we are. As long as you allow the energy to work with you, you have no problem with it. Okay, Catherine says just went out, and the new moon is very pink red. Very interesting. Take some video and pics, and we'll send you to later. Okay, so we're going through the moon's actually going through a double moon right now, as we speak. Because as we speak now, Catherine says there's a pink red moon. That's the beginning of the Lionsgate portal, guys. It's begun. So the Lionsgate portal has a pink and red, or pink and yellow. Pink and yellow? What is it? Yeah, pink and red. So it's, yeah. So you're an October baby. Yeah, you're me, Libra. That's normal. We get along with everybody. You know that. Always do. Have no problem whatsoever. You just fit in. I'm so sorry. You just fit in. Yeah, you are. Okay, let's see. Keith because I was a bush pilot. My brother cut it. I pilot. Okay, a friend sells crystals at spiritual centers, makes thousands every weekend. That's Diane. Yes. In 1980, you used to have a barter trade club, no money allowed. Yes. See, guys, this is what people are sharing right now. I'll tell you this: whenever you guys go into a rock and crystal shop, if you guys ever get a chance, if you actually feel any kind of, if your body is dealing with any sort of pain, I'm serious. If your body's going through any sort of pain, go to a rock and crystal shop. Walk in and walk around. Guaranteed by the time you're done within 15 minutes, you don't feel the pain. There's no pain. The body's not hurting no more. Those rocks and stones are already doing the job. You'd be in shock, absolutely in shock. So, and I every time if I feel kind of pain, if I'm close by a rock and gem store, or yeah, I walk right in. I walk in there and I walk around just to feel the pain go away, and you feel like I feel so good. I mean, I regretted not owning a rock and gem store. I actually almost did. Back in the 90s, I was considering buying a rock and gem store. I regretted it. I could have, but I didn't. Someone offered me a business I could have bought. I went, no. Stupid me. I was like my dad, my father. Oh, you're not going to make no money at rocks and gems. Yeah, that's what they said. I didn't know. I Now you do. There's a friend of mine, husband and wife team. The husband actually had to quit his job because he was making more money than he actually working for somebody else, and that's doing rock and gem shows. So that's what I'm doing. I mean, I do powwows, other events, but I find if I do rock and gem shows, I rock it too. Good pun intended, but I do quite well because I actually add on pieces. Here, I'll give you guys an example. This is one of my walking staffs I made. Okay, I'm sure you guys have seen this walking staff. Okay, this is actually made of red diamond willow, and the fur here is raccoon and elk hide with brass things. And this is actually a walking staff, a very long one. Then the point I put on here, this is all custom designed by me. This is my work. This is what I do for a living. Now look at this baby. Amethyst point. Look how huge this baby is. Woo. And I put crystals, amethyst on the side too as well. So this is my walking staff. So I just put my hand on it like so. And you can see that. There's my hand. And that's my walking staff. I walked into the bush where there's bears, and the bears won't even come near me. None. The wildlife. I wasn't even carrying no gun. Just walk with this. They know the energy. So, and the reason why I put this capping material, actually these are glass caps. They're good for your glasses. It just basically protects it so in case it falls, you're not going to do any damage. But this is some of my pieces that I do. I mean, I make all kinds of crazy stuff, guys. I made some brand new pieces as of tonight. I made a brand new smudge bowl stand with a deer skull and crystal points coming out of the skull on top of the skull. You want to have a look at it, you can go on to my Facebook page and have a look and see it. It's not completely finished. That's just basically started. I'm going to do some artwork on top of the skull, but on that, it'd be ready for. Oh, by the way, before I forget, rock and gems. I want you guys to know this. I'm going to share this with you all. Let me bring this up, the Facebook page. Those are in the region. I'm going to be doing the where's my flyer? There it is. Okay. That's called the Vancouver Pagan Awareness Day. Saturday, August the 10th, which is this Saturday. It's actually their 26th year. I've been there for, oh my God, 10 years now. In Trout Lake, John Hendry Park, which is in Vancouver, near the concession stand. Fun for all whole family, free to attend, rain or shine. Children's activities, free workshops, 50-50 draw. free entertainment throughout the day from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. They're actually pleased to bring your own perishable donation for the food banks if possible, or animal shelter. And it's sponsored by the Phoenix Rising Metaphysical Store. They're the ones, Goldie's the one that put it on, and she's been doing this for a long, long time. And anyways, yeah, she carries this for her family. I'm going to put this up over here. No, not there. And I will show you guys so you can have a look at it. Okay. I'll bring this over here first to that one. And I'll bring this over here to this. Now you see it. So I'm going to be there selling my wares. So I'd love to see you guys there. If you're actually in the region, I'll be there selling my selling at the event. I got a whole big huge booth. I got my 10 by 10 tent, and like I said, I work with Rock and Gems. So I'd love to see you guys. If you guys are in the region, please come on down. I'd like to see you there. So it's a big huge event. And those are in the chat room. If you guys are local, come on, bring your butt down there. I'd like to see you guys in person. You can't just say, well, think about it. That's just me. Okay. So anyways, thought I'd share that with you guys. Okay, where are we here? Oh, that one there. That's where it goes. Okay. Here I got two. So I put it on both screens. I'm running back and forth. So if you guys have any questions to ask again before we call it a night, I appreciate you guys for actually watching the program. I had a lot of fun doing it. Like I said before, I was late getting on due to troubles. So anyways, I finally got back in. They left me alone. They actually, if you were beginning the show, you'll see they blacked out the screen. They were trying to make sure I don't get on, but I said, you guys can't do that. You can't knock me out because I didn't do anything wrong. So yeah. Anyways, appreciate you guys for watching the program. My show is called Shadow Chasing Show. I'm on Thursday nights, every Thursday night, 7 to 10 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And tonight we did talk about the Lionsgate portal. A lot of people, if you guys can share that, please like and share as much as you can on whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, like and share. And also when I do my Rumble, when I do record it, have it recorded and sent on the page. If you guys do get a chance to get a Rumble and find it there, again, please do like and share that too. Put the big palms up and say, yeah, I liked your show. And Heidi said, I just got out of jail. Facebook jail. Yeah, I know. I used to see the new. Oh, I can't forget this. Truth. This is absolute truth, folks. I got to tell you this before I call it a night. In the UK, as we speak, in the UK, we do have it called the Facebook police. Yes, we have the Facebook police, real police officers that they actually watch Facebook all the time. I actually watched a video of an elderly man in a wheelchair who's medicated. The police came in his house and arrested him. They arrested him because he made a comment about the protest in the UK. He didn't say anything about hurting anybody, nothing insulting. He just voiced an opinion. The cops came in, they handcuffed him and took him to jail. As we speak, he's still in jail and he's in a wheelchair. I'm not kidding you. It's not a joke. It's for real. The Facebook people now have hired police officers to come to your house, and they have gone as far as cutting your door open with a saw and arresting you for making comments on social networks. So here's my word. If they barge into your house If by some chance this ever happens with you guys in the UK or in Canada or United States, remember under the military criminal code 1838-1828. Oh, sorry, 14818 and 13818. If an officer tries to break in your house without your permission, if you do not allow them in, they cannot do anything about it. They cannot enter your home, none whatsoever. You have a military code protecting you. Use it. Now, someone says to me, oh, that's only for the United States, for Americans. No, we have merged. Canada has merged with the United States. It's already been signed by our commander in chief. We have already become part of the United States. Same with also Mexico, same as New Zealand, as well as Australia. All of our 5 countries have all become one. So that means that we're under their header. Okay, or else I wouldn't be following it. So if you guys need to know what the military laws are that protect you, ask, and I'll send you to the page. It's worth it. Okay, I will email them to you or text them to you. So, anyways, guys, thank you guys for being part of the program, and send prayers out for those who are suffering. Send love to all those who need our help. Also, please like and share the Lionsgate portal information to everyone. You'll start seeing everyone out there celebrating it. I have a lady friend of mine that there's about hundreds of ladies coming out on a meeting on the island that are celebrating. They're doing actually a women's healing Lionsgate portal healing circles. They're doing it as we speak, and they're there up until the 12th. So they're all camped out there. This is big. This is happening everywhere, all across the land, guys. Let's have fun and let's do it. Trust God, trust Spirit. They're helping you. We're raising the vibration higher, and we will be doing fine. If you see anything on the mainstream media, and they're trying to get you scared about certain things they're going to do, it's not about you and I. It's about the bad guys. They're getting them. Any kind of threats they're trying to make, trying to scare you, scoff it off. Don't lose sleep over it. Okay, take it. Just love yourself, love your family, love friends, and love your enemies. Forgive them. You know, they don't know better. They have no idea what the heck's going on. They're just as scared of you and I, and they're scared of themselves. They can't see themselves in the mirror. They can't handle looking at the demon on the side that's went inside them, and they're trying to fix it. And they go, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. Please forgive me. So they need our help, right? Anyways, be good to you guys. Be good to each other. Love you guys. And God be with you all. Take good care. We'll talk to you guys next week. Ciao.
Everyone lives, everyone dies. Everyone loves, everyone cries. Round the world we're all alike. So why is there war? Why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace, make peace, make peace, peace. Alright, isn't it time for us to stop dying? Isn't it time, mother, stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, We all we gotta learn to live together. Peace in peace, peace, all right. Peace, peace, together. Peace.
Where we go one, we go all.